Hey, what's up, y'all? So I wanted to talk about the Yordenis Ugas versus Errol Spence Jr. fight that's coming up on April 16th, I believe. It's going to be in Dallas, Texas, which is in Errol Spence's backyard, so to speak. Before I get into their stats, I do want to say that Ugas has the better amateur and Olympic pedigree. Errol Spence was a great amateur, but he was not an Olympian, a successful Olympian, or Olympian at all, for that matter. But Ugas was. So, as far as their stats, I'll go ahead and get into that now. Ugas has 27 wins, 4 losses. 13 of those wins come by way of knockout. No draws. That's 31 total bouts. That's 3 more bouts than Earl Spence with a 42% KO ratio. He stands 5'10" with his 69-inch reach, and he stands in the orthodox stance. He's representing Cuba, and he is, I think, 3 years older than Spence. Now, Errol Spence Jr. has 27 wins, no losses, 21 KOs, no draws, 27 total bouts with a 78-inch, 78% KO ratio. He's 5'10" with a 72-inch reach and stands southpaw. He's from Texas, of course. So, like I said, the fight will be in his backyard. But as far as him being southpaw, that's not going to be a problem for Ugas, because if you know anything about Cuban boxers, there's a lot of southpaws out there for them to train with, so him fighting a southpaw will not be a problem, and that will actually be a problem for Spence because Ugas is so used to fighting southpaws in Cuba. So that advantage goes to Ugas instead of Spence. Now, although Errol Spence has more knockouts, I think Ugas has fought the tougher opponents. So that's why his knockouts aren't as high. But he does have nasty power. He hits very hard. His power is very overlooked. So it's going to be, y'all are going to see something different. Y'all are going to see his power in this fight for sure. Because Spence has a very aggressive style. And Ugas will not let anybody bully him. I promise that. And people are going to say, well, he lost. He's lost. Ugas has lost. Yes, he did lose. But I think one was controversial. I think he beat Porter. And he also, he lost to Porter, but I thought he should have won. But nonetheless, he got the L on his record to Porter. But that was the prime Porter. That was the Porter that had won all those fights in a row until he got to Ugas. And then Ugas kind of laid the blueprint on how to beat Porter. And when Porter fought Spence, he had already had that tough war against Ugas. So Spence really wasn't fighting the toughest Porter. He's fighting I don't want to say washed up, but you know what I'm talking about. Porter wasn't as good because he was exposed against Ugas, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions. Once you fight somebody tough like that, like Ugas, and then have to fight somebody tough back to back, it's hard. It's very hard. So now when Spence fought that Sean Porter, I even thought Sean Porter won that fight. But nonetheless, Spence got the win, so that's okay. That's a loss on Sean Porter's record, but Sean Porter definitely could have easily won that, even though he got knocked down. He still could have won that. I, you know, I judged it, and I thought Sean Porter won with the knockdown, but he lost. Okay, so we'll let that go. As far as the matchup, the style, like I said, Ugas has nasty left hooks. His right hand doesn't miss. He will stand there and slug with you. He is a great Cuban boxer. He has good pull counters. He has a good jab. And like I said, that right cross always lands. Rewatch the Pacquiao fight. Um, Rewatch the Porter fight. Watch his body work. I just posted a video of his power. You can hear the shots to the whole arena. The dude hits hard. He's very overlooked. Now, yes, Earl Spence hits very hard too, and he's a big. He's big for the division, but so is Ugas. That's why he's going to surprise a lot of people, and I'm going to pick him to win. I like Errol Spence, and I don't want to see him lose, but I know talent when I see talent. They both got talent, but I know who has the better talent, and that is Ugas. I'm putting my money on Ugas. So yeah, I mean, I just said I was putting my money on Ugas, and the reason I'm doing that is because, like I said before, I see. I mean, look at my last videos, all my last predictions. I basically got them all right. I fought professionally for 9 years, so I can see styles, I can see weaknesses in in certain people. So when there's a good matchup, I can I'm usually 90% right on who's gonna win, just from my experience alone. So that's how I come up with these predictions, because I could look at a fighter, because I used to watch footage on my opponents and look for the weaknesses. So now that I could watch two amazing fighters with a good matchup, I can look at their film of their fights and see the flaws in both of them and tell you my opinion on who's going to win. And a lot of my viewers and subscribers have won money. They've messaged me and said they've won money from my predictions. So, I mean, I have been wrong a few times, but I think it was just super close. But in this prediction, I am picking Ugas to win by decision, and it's going to be a unanimous decision. So, and if Ugas loses by decision, it's going to be like very controversial, and it might even be like a robbery. I love Spence. I love his fighting style. I don't want to see him lose, but in my opinion, Ugas is the better boxer, the better fighter, and he's gonna prove that. And I'm gonna prove it to y'all that I know what I'm talking about, like I did before. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment below, and let me know what y'all think about this fight. Ugas versus Spence, April 16th in Dallas, Texas. I want to know what y'all think. Peace.